Hey, everybody. Great topic here on a beautiful sunny Friday. And, looking forward to hearing how Clerk Chat is reinventing and revolutionizing team communications here with Alex. How are you?
Good, good. How are you, Evan? Thank you for having me.
I'm doing well. Really excited to have this chat as we've been talking a number of months, and I'm really intrigued by what you guys are doing. Maybe you could start with introductions. Talk about the origin story of Clerk Chat, the problems that you're addressing, and the inspiration maybe behind its creation.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we've been building Clerk Chat just over or just under the last 2 years. It is a conversational messaging application for the VOIP, the VoIP ecosystem. So we really bridge the gap of, for lack of a better, I guess, terms, the missing piece in messaging across Microsoft Teams, Cisco WebEx, and Zoom. So we found that there's our customers really had no enterprise grade communication platform readily available to them, despite maybe Zoom or WebEx having kind of like what they call their like vanilla out of the box offering for messaging. So we really, enabled SMS, WhatsApp for business, and we're working on Apple Business Chat slash iMessage, and then Google's RCS as well. So allowing really the enterprise on VoIP to enable messaging for all of their colleagues.
Wow, that's no small goal here. And I see your tagline: creating conversations that convert, that sell, that engage, that delight. Really interesting proposition. So, maybe let's dive into the product, the service. What are some of the features that set it apart from, the built-in tools, capabilities of those apps, as well as other automation tools that exist out there?
Yeah, yeah. I think the messaging ecosystem over the last 10 years has definitely been crowded. It's a crowded space, and it's a question that we get asked very often. But really, for within again that VoIP landscape that we're going after right now, is the fact that a lot of these enterprise companies don't have. So one is there's just this. There's been a convergence of bringing the hard phone into the soft phone, right? So allowing these millions of folks who have literally a hard phone to migrate to Microsoft's Teams, Zoom, or WebEx, where their telephony can now exist right alongside their video platform, which has been really a big moment since really COVID has occurred. In the last 4 or 5 years, this has been a big trend that we've seen in the market. And interestingly, there's been no messaging platform that can meet these customers where they are and the enterprise. So from a big perspective, there's compliance requirements that these companies have. So that means saving these conversations for auditing or e-discovery purposes. And this is really why a lot of financial institutions are coming to us. A lot of healthcare companies are coming to us. Transportation and logistics companies, where that data, that conversational data is really sensitive, are coming to us as well. So those are some of the features that folks look for. But the major one is being able to wrap around the existing business phone number. So a lot of messaging applications will have you port to a third-party carrier, which obviously, when you're dealing with
Mm,
calling, we all know that's kind of, it's like heart surgery, if you will, for these
mm.
IT folks that are managing this complex network of telephony. So that first one is, enabling that existing business phone number. And we did that through a partnership with the underlying cloud telco with bandwidth.com. And so Microsoft has a product called Operator Connect. And so we basically were the first resellers of that product. And then happy to talk more about like our CRM integrations or anything, but at a high level, that's really what we've been able to do and how we've been able to wedge into this ecosystem.
Fantastic. Yeah, great company. I know them well. And maybe talk about some scenarios of how you're helping certain businesses. Is there an industry in particular you're getting a lot of traction in? I mean, what does it mean for streamlining their, business communications workflow? What's the value there for them?
Yeah. So you're a large company, a mid-market company. You have hundreds of your employees who may have
Mm,
again, their own business phone line. And you now need to message, right? folks are not, we know calling minutes are dropping, unfortunately. And the main channel that is actually update has seen a large uptick other than email, which is also dropping in terms of how many people like will open or respond to. It has really just been messaging. And that's because it lives at the center of really where people will live and play, with their family, right? You can imagine this is like the most concentric part of a phone screen for people is the messaging inbox. So enabling employees, a company to enable an employees like a financial institution as an example customer who
Mm.
has all of their wealth advisors now being able to text you from their business phone. Imagine one of the use cases we get is, all my customers are on a golf course. And so, they don't want to hear from me on a Friday afternoon before Memorial Day. I'm calling them about something that we have to do. They'd rather just do it asynchronously through a text message. Others, there's NFL sports teams, again, using it for kind of high net worth individuals. They actually have like a concierge, like a CX team, like personal assistants that they will literally dedicate to corporate suite holders and box holders. So before the game, during the game, and after the game on kind of NFL Sunday, they'll literally dedicate a person or a team just to you and your organization. And that messaging, because it's hyper personalized, it's again human based. It's all technology, but it's all human based at the other end. Is really how companies are leaning into this modality of communication.
Yeah, fantastic. Value prop. And talk about all the channels you support. It really is extraordinary, not just like Slack and Teams, but iMessage for business and, of course, SMS and WhatsApp. RCS, I imagine, is coming. Is that the goal? Any channel, any message?
Right. So just the same way, what shocked us in building the company is, yeah, SMS is readily available. It's a very old protocol, in fact. Um, but WhatsApp, the same way as a consumer, you pop in your SIM card and you have all of these channels available to you. As an enterprise, it's not that simple.
Mm.
Wrapping around that VOIP number, you have to go to all these different places, and you'd have to know. There's really two ways you'd have to go through. Twilio as a developer to enable all those things, and actually, us as developers going to Twilio, we found out actually you can't enable WhatsApp very easily. It's a very manual process. So what we've done is we've just made it super easy for a company to go in, connect SMS, connect WhatsApp for business. We have RCS and prototype and in development right now. It's a pretty new protocol actually for Google as well. And
Mm.
then Apple Business Chat we're working on as well. We just, the Apple ecosystem is a very walled garden. So we just require the almost like a papal level blessing. Feels like Tim Cook, who almost goes through each of these one by one. So we're waiting for that blessing from Apple to go live.
Fantastic. Can't wait to see that. Yeah, very powerful tool. And you're talking with large enterprises who have security and privacy data protection at the fore. I mean, how does that work integrating into these workplace communication tools with, end-to-end encryption and all the others requirements that you run
Yeah,
across?
yeah. So SMS is unencrypted over the air. We can encrypt it kind of end to end, and this is why the enterprise has been leaning so heavily into our solution. So because we integrate with Global Relay, Smarsh, and Bloomberg as well on the back end, all of that
Mm.
data can now be pooled to a centralized third-party database that all of these companies, the enterprise will plug into. So for auditing or compliance purposes, it's not sitting on Clerk Chat servers. We're actually pushing it to this trusted third party that they have already built a connection, or they have an MSA or a contract with. So we could literally think of it as like pipe all of the conversational data into their trusted resource where they already have their security keys and
Oh,
uh,
wow.
their Microsoft Purview or Azure storage as well. We can really push the data to any of those e-discovery tools of their choice.
Fantastic opportunity. Maybe talk about some of the industries or verticals you're getting traction in. I'd love to be able to text my doctor's office natively. Doesn't happen. But where do you
Right.
see the biggest traction today and moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, health Healthcare professionals, definitely. It's less the doctor's office and more these larger institutions. Um,
Mm,
and then financial institutions is where we're seeing it. But really, those are the two major industries that we're seeing is kind of finance and healthcare. If you think about like this
mm,
VoIP ecosystem as being like pretty horizontal, the beachhead within the beachhead, I guess you could say, in kind of like business talk has been those two sectors, and that's because the level or the sensitivity of the data. Imagine you're communicating with your healthcare practitioner, right? Around PHI, your personal healthcare identifier data, right? So you're talking about something sensitive to you. Um, that's where we're locking into their ERPs or to these third-party compliance tools, and again, it has to be on that same phone number. So um, that's where we've had a lot of product market fit, and then the financial wealth managers, financial institutions have been leaning heavily into this again because they're all migrating away from like a different, hard phone solution and then like Zoom on one other's end. They're just converging into one platform, and they're looking for this like robust enterprise grade platform. And again, where the data involving financial decisions has to go to a third party source, trusted source as well. Those have been the two major ones that we've seen. But it's really, Evan, it's been really pretty horizontal, pretty cool to see how many different industries have leaned into Clerk Chat, and it's been incredible. We're getting dozens of installs every single, almost 1,000 unique customers just organically installing Clerk Chat every day, which you would think messaging has been kind of solved, right? It feels like it's a problem that
wow.
it's like unsexy and boring to a certain extent and very self-aware. It's like there's so many messaging platforms. But for this specific industry where there's 40 million like PSTN connectivity licenses uh, that are just highly underserved, there's been no enterprise grade platform. It's just baffling. So I guess that's a long answer to say that it's really industry agnostic, but healthcare and finance is really where we are finding great pull.
That's fantastic. And these thousands of customers joining, what is maybe describe the onboarding process? How many is it hours, days, weeks to kind of get service started? And what does that look like from like a self-service standpoint?
Yeah, it's a great question, and thanks for asking that one. So what I'd say is really unique and incredible here is how much emphasis we put on the onboarding process. So what you can do is actually go to our website right now, and you can click. You'll see a button that says "Activate my existing number," and we can actually check in real time. And kind of 90% of the cases, we can just activate what's called SMS hosting, and we can check that phone number in real time and literally wrap around it in seconds. So having gone through other platforms where it is days or weeks or months before you can even get a demo scheduled, we just open up the platform. You can click through, create an account super fast. You log in with your Microsoft Teams, Zoom, or WebEx ID. It's all the same authentication token. And because of our partnership with bandwidth.com, we're able to, again, verify that phone number and just enable messaging literally within 3 clicks. I think we have this like mentality in Clerk Chat, which is like, if it can't be done within 3 clicks, then it's probably not a good user experience. So we've tried to enable that as fast as possible. So, um, and that is enterprise customers, of course, would want to check, our security protocols and go through a more robust demo. But really getting it to the free account. So there's 3 plans. There's a free and then kind of upgrades to
Mm,
to a paid account. But the free plan includes 100 free messages right away, and you can invite as many members to your organization and enable as many phone numbers as you want right out of the gate. Um, so effectively, we don't think we should punish people for wanting to try the product. We want people to try the product and see for themselves. So again, it's just seconds or minutes to get started.
fantastic. Well, it sounds so easy. I could even use it, which would be a big leap forward. Um, Talk about automation and AI. You have an AI agent capability today. How is that being used, and sort of what was the big idea behind your AI agent?
Yeah. So the AI agent system is what we saw is that there are companies that will have a workforce that's available, for customer support or CX. or even sales that's available within certain hours. You might think of like the 9 to 5, workday. And the AI component works in really two ways because there's a lot of reluctance and skepticism around, AI. It's such a big term right now. Everyone's talking about it, right?
Mm.
The way that we implement it is in two ways. One is it can actually be as a co-pilot, to steal from Microsoft's words. So it can live on top of the conversation that an employee is having, and this is how I use it every day. It will give me a recommendation on what to respond. So we have right there, what you're seeing is the assistant, and we can actually set it to be AI first or AI second. So the AI second version is, you can time gate it. So meaning it will respond if a message hasn't gone responded to within 2 or 3 minutes. The AI will kick in and give a response, or it will stay kind of in what we call like awaiting review mode, and then it's up to the employer, to the user, to manually review what the AI is suggesting as a response, and they can go in and edit it, or they can just send as it's like what it's proposing out of the box. We've seen both kind of modalities used. So the immediate one, which is like AI first, we went through an AI accelerator program in San Francisco, very reminiscent of like HBO Silicon Valley, and
Well,
very
hopefully
very
not too
HBO.
reminiscent, but very fun show. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, art imitating reality or something. But effectively, this company Contigo was scaling to about 120,000 weekly active users over WhatsApp. They were just literally had one person texting, and then as their company kind of went bananas and was scaling, they implemented our AI agent to help the CEO respond to all of these support tickets, and we were able to get a 90% deflection rate. So for us, that's where the AI first model can really help as a co-pilot. And to set the AI up as well, to set it up to be a conversational agent, literally takes minutes. So if you're familiar with like the ChatGPT store, there's still like a level of
Mm.
building and configuring that you need to do. So we've created a panel where you just do a little bit of fine tuning. You can upload all of your knowledge. We call it like a knowledge base, like your Jira, your Confluence, your website. We can pull like PDF documents, CSVs, really any kind of data that you have about your company. And it's all private. It's all still yours. It's just shared with Clerk Chat. And but we don't share it back to ChatGPT or anything. It literally is just informing our agent to know about your company and then respond on behalf of your company as well. So this is kind of like the future gazing stuff, the innovative stuff that we're leaning in towards. Is embedding around the one-to-one messaging and then amplifying. That's what we mean when we say amplifying human agents.
Wow, super powerful, intriguing idea. And you must have a lot on your plate in terms of roadmap and feature functionality development. Can you give us a peek into the direction you're going in? Where do you see yourself investing in the platform? And yeah, just the next few months through the next year.
Sure. It's actually, I know we're speaking about AI and all this stuff, but it's actually all the unsexy things I think are really exciting. So integrations into CRMs, deepening our integrations into Salesforce,
Mm.
deepening all those enterprise features, even getting things that you would think are silly, like notifications on Microsoft Teams, like natively enabling like an SMS message to pop up the same way you get a chat message on Microsoft. Like we've realized that this is the stuff that employees care about. The AI stuff is cool and shiny and nice, but it's really about how amplifying the user experience. So in terms of roadmap, it's really refining it so we have the best user experience possible. So being able to identify quickly your messages, being able to respond to them across any channel that you want. So the SMS, RCS, iMessage, and then those deep CRM integrations, so you can kind of glance over at your side panel and know, oh, I'm talking to Evan, as opposed to just some random person. I know exactly when the last time we spoke was, what we spoke about, and how to like really drive a hyper personalized conversation your way. So those are really what we're looking to do. And then I think we're actually publishing to the Zoom store today, so hopefully we get approved. In case anyone from Zoom's watching. And then we just published to Cisco 2 weeks ago, to Cisco WebEx 2 weeks ago. So a lot coming out in terms of those platforms.
Fantastic. Wow, that's great news. And yes, I'm followed by Eric Wan at at Zoom and many others. So hopefully he's watching. How do you see the big tech players here, from Microsoft to Cisco to Zoom and all the others? Are they, just integrations, or do you see yourself in their app stores? Are they partners, or some of them even
Yeah.
competitive in some cases? What does that look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. Sound like our VCs here in San Francisco. So, they, I'd say for by and large, they are definitely our go-to-market channel partner. We're published across
Oh,
their
great.
app stores, and the reason why they're partners rather than, if they were to come out with like an enterprise grade solution or just copy paste us, right? Which everybody's gonna be thinking like, why should I take Clerk Chat as opposed to just waiting for the Zoom solution? And it's gonna be, I have one neck to choke, right? If something goes wrong for calling and texting. We've spoken to leadership at both Microsoft and Zoom, who have both confirmed, hey, like it would take us months, if not years, to redevelop
Mm,
what you guys have built. And not only that, but they are not a telco ecosystem themselves. They want to partner. So 80% of the calling licenses or the PSTN licenses that are purchased on Zoom, WebEx, and Teams are through the bring your own carrier motion. So you might have like a New Wave as an example, as a carrier aggregator behind the scenes that with their iPilot system they power you know a ton of the telephony, or you have like even Verizon or AT&T coming direct. So all these enterprises are relying like these direct to carrier relationships, and they are the ones lacking in SMS service. So even if Microsoft or Zoom or WebEx came out with like a Clerk Chat competitor tomorrow, they would only be serving 10 to 15% of their total market. So there really is a need. That's what gives me reassurance and helps me sleep a little bit more at night, is that there really is a need in the bring your own carrier motion here within this ecosystem.
for sure. Well, exciting times. And what about serving markets outside the US and Canada, North America? I imagine that's a huge untapped opportunity as well.
Absolutely, yeah. We're seeing, it's actually funny because those are the markets that have adopted messaging first. Like if you look at the messaging ecosystem, it's very crowded outside. I mean, the US market is crowded, but not in this ecosystem. If you go to like, I was in Italy last summer, very thankfully, and everybody uses WhatsApp. Like the business owners is like, oh, just WhatsApp me. You go to APAC or LATAM, everybody says, oh, just WhatsApp me. And the US has been a laggard, but in any case, they all use WhatsApp, and that's something that we can support. So enabling the same way as you as a consumer, you can enable your same phone number for iMessage, SMS, WhatsApp. We can do it for individual phone numbers on WhatsApp as well. So if you're a wealth management advisor, you're a healthcare practitioner, and one of your patients or customers lives in Italy, you can, and you don't have to text with a localized American number. You can actually just WhatsApp them. So that's been a really big boon of business for us, is being able to lean in internationally too.
Fantastic. Well, beyond enjoying the sunny long weekend ahead of us, what else are you looking forward to over the next weeks, couple months? Any travel or events, or just heads down helping customers?
No, so we'll be at the PAX 8 Beyond
Mm,
conference, and we have some partners that will be there as well, which there were some things just recently announced in UC today, actually just yesterday. One of our partners is Scipio, so we just partnered with them to offer Scipio messaging with Clerk Chat. So we'll be at the PAX 8 Beyond conference. Happy to talk about that in real time. That will be in Denver from, if I'm not mistaken, June 9th to 11th.
mm. Fantastic. Well, I won't be there, but I'm sure I'll see you at one of the many industry events, meetups, get-togethers, and congratulations on all the success. Onwards and upwards. You're
Thank
on
you.
quite a trajectory. It's very impressive to watch. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, Evan. Thanks for hosting me. Love your show, and shout out to Di Palma for connecting us. So I appreciate that as
Ah,
well.
yes, my neighbor Dino here in Massachusetts. And thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching. Look forward to your feedback. And until next time, take care. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Thank you.